What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Hulu's new movie, Sex Appeal. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Okay, let's cut right to the chase, shall we? Is this movie funny? Unfortunately, it is not. The humor is very dry and it relies heavily on the stereotypical assumptions about sex. It's definitely written from the perspective of what grown-ups think are funny rather than what teenagers think are funny. So the puns and the punchlines are all up in your face and awkward and cringy. For a self-proclaimed teen sex comedy, the comedy part is excruciatingly weak. That said, I gotta give this film some credit for its unexpected and reasonable conclusion at the end, which doesn't necessarily make up for all the touch and goes leading up to that, but it's certainly a thoughtful way of wrapping things up. Scripted by Tate Haniock and directed by Talia Osteen, in Sex Appeal, Avery Hanson-White doesn't do things she isn't excellent at, so when her long-distance boyfriend hints at wanting to take their relationship to the next level, she sets out to master her sexuality, employing her oldest friend Larson as a test subject. But Avery's study results in the realization that there's more to sex and love than mechanics. Relationships require both head and heart. Starring Mika Abdallah, Jake Short, Paris Jackson, Margaret Cho, and Fortune Femster. Am I for open dialogues about sex? Absolutely. Am I for making sure that the dialogues are blunt and honest no matter what strong language you may use? Abso-freaking-lutely. So in that regard, I have no problem with the lead character Avery being brutally and loudly naive in expressing her sexual curiosity. The problem is, it's clear that the script wants to make her out to be some kind of a female Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, who often smartly speaks out the first hypothesis that crosses his mind without considering the repercussion. To a certain extent, it works. But that running gag runs out of fuel pretty fast, and I was not able to buy what actress Mika Abdallah was selling. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Mika is a wonderful young actress, but putting turtleneck on somebody would not necessarily turn that somebody into a nerd. She's way too attractive for this role, and you cannot convince me that she'd rather go to a science convention instead of prom. The dreamscape visual illustrations along the way that depict certain segments of pleasure are interesting to say the least. Mad props, especially to that whole water synchronized sequence, which I'm sure it wasn't easy for them to pull that off. So I get it. They are this movie's way of going there without becoming too raunchy and tasteless. As for the conclusion or the reasonable ending I mentioned to you earlier, I do appreciate the spin there, because it not only speaks of empowerment or being okay with just by yourself, but it also speaks of the notion that sometimes some things just don't work out. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And so, overall, where does Sex Appeal stand on the pantheon of countless teen sex comedies out there? Well, it has its cutesy moments, I give you that. Though the idea of overthinking sex through science does seem silly. So if you come in just for what the two lead characters take away from their experiment, I think you're gonna be just fine. But if you come in expecting to laugh your ass off the entire time, you are in for a disappointment.